you ever sit in your room in the dark, looking at yourself in the mirror, and sad and desperate and very lonely, and you go, damn, I really need a boyfriend. But you can't get a real person to love you that way. So you turn into fictional men, and you download visual novels and otome games in order to fulfill your romantic needs. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Hi! So, to properly understand what happened, we need to know what is Nix Hydra. Nix Hydra, according to their description on Google Play, is a female-founded mobile game company that allows you to choose your own adventures, your stories, your way. It got its start with its virtual game, Egg Baby, and has since branched out to create the widely known romance game, The Arcana, in 2018, and later in 2017, they released their second visual novel, Fictive. The Arcana game was started as a passion project in 2016 by the writer Nikolai Lizinski and the artist Dana Rune, with their campaign in Kickstarter aiming for $30,000 to fund the making of said project. This goes without saying that the campaign promised hefty rewards to the backers of this project, such as a digital pack that includes Minor Arcana art book, an 11-inch by 17-inch art print, 2 sticker sheets, a book pack, and lastly a digital commission by the game's artist. And fans were willing to donate up to $500 for this game to become a reality. And the goal of the campaign was exceeded by reaching $42,000, which means the fans were just as passionate about this project, if not more. But the cracks were starting to appear as the game was still in the making, with the backers' complaints dating to 7 years ago. A lot of rewards that were promised to the backers never being received, and some having to pay extra fees on top of what they already have paid. In addition, the backers were promised exclusive free experience of the game once it's released, only for them to find the content locked behind a paywall that is accessible either by game coins that you can collect by watching ads or by paying an additional fee. And the nail on the coffin was the lack of updates from the company. They were radio silence, and when they were being reached out to via email, they gave fake responses to the concerned inquiries, and sometimes they either avoided the question altogether or they never responded at all. And on top of that, they refused to refund anyone. So naturally, people who didn't receive their money back started looking into legal actions. It is then when Nix Hydra finally started updating their followers and asking them to email them or the customer support team, but no actual compensation was provided by the company. So people started reporting the project to Kickstarter, and the company started handing exclusive coupons to the backers as if like that will do anything. That will allow them to freely and fully access Azra's, Julian's, and Nadia's routes. And you'd think the problems end here, right? Well, you couldn't have been more wrong. The company promised the backers a special key that will grant access to a desktop version of the game, which also never happened because there was no PC version. And the response to that? Obviously, this was only the exclusive parts of the story, because the company was in fact still facing backlash even after releasing the game officially on App Store and Play Store. And soon it turns out the creator of the games were so problematic. Hey y'all, it's Editing Bleach here. I just wanted to clarify that Nick at this point is no longer working with them and this project, and he has since moved on to other projects. I just wanted to come here and clarify this little bit of information. Okay, bye! Let's take a look at the creator's problematic behavior list, shall we? Around 2020, Nyx Hydra were in the process of finishing the last 3 routes that were left in the Arcana game, Uriel's, Lucio's, and Portia's routes. It was also around this time that they decided not to continue Portia's route with the excuse that not enough players were interested in that route. Mind you, they left a lot of responsibilities to start that route. Nobody demanded that route, but since they released it and players were hooked on it, it was understandably enraging, which resulted in #SavePortia, and people genuinely wanted that route to be finished. And the devs claimed that it's difficult for smaller companies to support content that the customers aren't paying for. Interesting. They also posted this. And what's funny is that the company made $300,000 in monthly revenue, and we're actively blocking people who pointed that out on Twitter. So you can pretty much tell that it was a scam. Additionally, it was revealed that the company raised the price of coins up to $99.99. Not to mention that there were also complaints about the low quality of some of the merch they were selling on their official website. There was also a mass copyright strike on the Arcana Let's Play videos on YouTube, which, you know, in first sight, it might look reasonable to some since it's like a story-based game. But the videos they were trying to take down weren't monetized, which means the creators weren't gaining money from them. And most of those videos were of the paid choices in the game that not everyone was able to unlock. And a lot of Let's Plays of this kind exist on YouTube, so it was kind of odd for them to be doing that. So by now you can tell that this company was pretty much a sinking ship. And then one of the mods on the Arcana Discord announces a big surprise, and then all of a sudden people woke up to Nyx Hydra gone. Everything was gone. Their website was gone. Their Twitter went private. No information was officially released to clarify why Nyx Hydra was selling their game company to this new company, and fans were once again left in the dark. So Dorian, a platform where people can make their own games and stream them. Something like Wattpad, but with visuals, you feel me? But that sounds like a positive change, right? The company seems put together and can properly handle these games better than Nyx Hydra, right? No. The thing is, Dorian was already facing backlash even before purchasing the games. So if you don't know, Dorian provides a customizable avatar for all the users, except the default avatar is a petite white woman. Call her YN if you please. Any other cosmetics to customize the avatar were unlocked behind a paywall, and that's because Dorian claimed to be more female targeted. So if you were a POC woman or a gay man, you had to pay. Another thing is that there were no pronouns choices, so yeah. People were panicking because the Arcana and Fictive were all about representation and inclusivity. People were scared that this would be the downfall of a game that they put so much time and money on. Not to mention, some of the stories were not even completed in Fictive, and we still know nothing about the full lore of the Arcana. So the anger was understandable, and with so much people expressing their concerns, you'd think Dorian would hire some more professional writers to help what was left of the next team to finish the game and provide new content, and assure the fans that the games would be treated properly and accordingly. Now, they instead replied passively to the comments, calling them out, and later on decided to choose a bunch of ambassadors from different backgrounds to do their job, instead of just hiring professional writers, so the hate never went down. Man, they could not be serious. So they decided not to touch the Arcana app at all, no updates to the stories or about the lore, and instead focus more on fan-made stories related to the Arcana published on the Dorian app. As for Fictive, it was totally ghosted. They did this one Asura story, I guess, that they uploaded on their app. The art was provided by Gabriella, a very talented artist, and the GC was so pretty, but the writing style was giving Wattpad 2014. It was giving Colleen Hoover, if you catch my drift. It was so bad. I teared up while reading that, I'm not even gonna lie. As of writing this script, the Arcana app has few new features. The streaming feature where you get to engage with the cosplayers and also win coins, but no real updates to the actual story, so we are on standby until hopefully a new company buys the game, though this is very unlikely. The Dorian app is seeing more POC and LGBTQ+ representation from cosplayers and fan artists. So even if we haven't been compensated for our loss, some of us made a community for themselves and are having fun. My thoughts on this? Traumatizing. Absolutely traumatizing. As I was researching about Nyx Hydra and what was the reason for their sudden disappearance, I kept gasping and smacking my mouth from the shock. I was in horror and shambles of what I was reading and finding out. I remember having an Instagram account back in 2020. I was posting Arcana fan art and memes, and the fact that this was happening behind my back while I was completely clueless had me shook to the core. So this concludes our journey for today. I hope you guys learned something new, because I know I did. If I missed anything, please inform me in the comments, and until next time.
Mr. Worldwide.